Hi everyone, Leah the trader from TMAD here. Welcome. We have following trades opened. We have Bumble for a couple of weeks now. It was a rocky ride here, but we are still in, and I actually added more to this trade, and looks like we are in a good shape here. It's a very inexpensive stock. It's down incredibly from the highs. Let's look at that. And so this stock went to, second quickly. Wow. The $200 almost. Look at the IPO. This is really sad with IPOs because they just go crazy and people lose all their money and then they wait if they even get their back. So it's super frustrating for the employees mainly, but this is what it is. Bumble, we can easily double the money. I'm giving it some time, but this is my longer term position trade. Huge difference between short-term trades, right? There's a day trading, which you are in and out on a short-term, short-term and short time frame. Then you have a swing trade, and then position trade is for months up to sometimes even longer. I wouldn't call it necessarily an investment because I would like to have a certain entry when I reach on those trades. Usually when I'm 100% up, I take some gains off. We had with many companies this year. For example, Real was a position trade that I traded last year. Look, when you have this kind of run with those small companies, you 100% very easily if you pick them right. Plan for Bumble. I would like it to get first to the 8. That's just a target for a trade, but I would want to sit in this one at least up to $13, $14. We'll see. We take it day by day and play it by ear, but this one could work well. We are about a 200 and the trend is definitely changing. ELF also was a cup and handle breakout play. We entered around this level and we are still in. We are going to hopefully soon reach out the 134. One thing you have to know, a lot of people feel comfortable to buy for reversals, buy the dip because psychologically it feels easier for them. Oh yeah, it's so cheap, why not? But remember, there is so much supply above. A lot of the people, they bought and they are now stuck in these names, right, with ELF. So they are trying to get out to break even, right, to get your money back. So they are going to sell. So you're going to have a lot of overhead supply in front of you. But if you know that and you have time, these are longer term trades. ELF, we might be sitting in for 2-3 months, 4 months, right? Until it gets to 190. I probably would get out around these levels. I counted the cup and handle. That's why I have 190 as a target. I have time, patience. We're going to sit in this one longer. EOC, it has a really nice trend now. It's very volatile. It's an energy play. It's a healthy energy play, right? So you want to have this one for longer as well. Also looks, it's, one second, changing the course. Yeah, exactly. It's changing course of action here. It's a different trend, change trend. Looks stage 2 breakout, which I was already mentioning. That's our longer term swing also. Yeah, exactly. Here is a breakout. And when you look at the chart, this is weekly and daily is totally stage 2 breakouts. They're hoping this one also could probably go to 14, 16, 14, $15. Then we have Len, which is doing really well. And it's a developer. A lot of those will profit from lower interest rates. And of course, Bumble is a small cap. And Len is it's a home builder, so you're gonna definitely profit in the next year from the lower interest rates. My targets are 156 and 177 on this one. If there is a momentum, we're doing well, I will stay in. Why leave? Oscar finally moving. We've been in this trade for a long time, mid-August, and finally it looked scary there for a bit, but we got in here, didn't get stopped out. So I took 30% off only, but I'm riding the rest 70%. We could get, once we fill this gap, we could get back to the 20 to 23. And again, 24 even is the high. And pre-COVID, they were much higher. Let me check on a bigger time frame because I remember this company when they went public, pretty much everything else in COVID. Yeah, so this was again another unfortunate IPO, 36. Yeah, so here you see 24 can happen easily, and then we'll see the momentum again. There's a lot of chatter that the government will be supporting different healthcare programs and make sure that people have affordable healthcare. We'll see if that happens, but there is a lot of good momentum in healthcare stocks, like UNH as well, which was totally beat up, but it picked up because Warren bought it. Whatever, his 311 is his average. In any case, UNH looks also nice. This looks at inverse head and shoulder to me. So that's a great one. This is the realistic targets are right around here for a short term. Well, short term, couple of months, but also there will be a lot of supply to break. So we have to first fill this gap. Gap fill 370. There is a first big supply ahead of us around there. And of course, this moving average will most likely be a little bit lower. And another one is about 430. But again, if you're in this stock, it's a very safe company, even though they have a lot of headwinds. There's a huge one of these companies in the US. It's not gonna go under. If you are doing well there, why not? And it pays dividend as well. It's fine. It has a long way to go up. So and then we have TEM, which is doing really well. We see here another overhead supplies around here. So this one I wanted to point, because we trade this all the time, we invest in this, it's a favorite TMAD stock. I want to look at this chart. Follow me now, because this is a very nice formation here. For those who are not in yet, who are not trading this name yet and would get in and might have FOMO, you are looking at a nice formation right here, nice bullish pennant. Look, zack. About this level, we have the supply, right? But if you get about the 83, these are the next levels. Careful, right? You want to buy, but there is a supply. You don't want to get right into the supply and get stopped out immediately. So I would give it a little bit of digestion of this supply level and then have your stop, let's say 75. That's our entry. So I'm in this trade. I would be moving the stop to break even once we break about this level, right? And step by step, the pivot. This is creating another pivot. So the pivot is 72. But the moment we break to another level, I will move my stop to 75. And then if we reach this level, I will move it accordingly and also write this one. TEM. CNA is a little bit too risky. I'm up 7% on this trade. I was posting when I was getting in. This is my speculative play. It's 3x CM small cap index leveraged. You don't want to stay in those too long because they rebalance and they are not a long-term holdings. But I wanted to play them as the volatility, and also TNA is heavily shorted, which you can see on Finviz, for example, by smart money, by funds and institutions. And the moment we lower the rates, small caps lower rates, and there might be a little bit of dip after the FOMC choppiness. We have Jewish holiday, but into the year end, after mid-October into November, as it's usually the case, November is a small cap month, we might run. So I will see. If I'm up 7%, I might leave this position next week because I don't want to be holding a super volatile and risky asset into the weakness of end of September. I might be wrong. We might go higher, but if not, I will revisit this one. And you can also buy IWM. You know, it's safer, but it's more expensive and it's less volatile. So I play with these high flyers. And that's basically my thinking. If funds and institutions see that there is a lot of momentum, they will have to cover, which is going to fuel the rally. In any case, that's it. UPS was at today. Looks like double bottom. Again, we are catching a falling knife. But into Christmas, when you look at the chart past 6-7 years, this stock goes up into October, November, December, because of course shipping and Christmas and all that stuff is picking up. So I might dump it. We might get to the 100, who knows, into Christmas. I might dump it after. I don't want to hold this stock, but it also has huge dividends. That's it. For next week, that was a quick recap, my friends. For next week, we have AOI, right? This one looks pretty interesting for a breakout. I would be interested to play this name above the 50 moving average, 25, right? So let me draw some lines that make sense for you. Yeah, right here. That would be my entry, 25. Give it a stop of 23, I would say. And then targets are in those highs, 30, 31, around there. That would be AOI. Then I have CRM. I really love this recovery. Look, I had the chart, the line there before because that was the previous support. And first we played it from here to 250, and then before earnings, thankfully I sold, and we'll see if we continue this trend. But at this point, I would just want to see the stock. A new setup for me would be seeing about a 50 moving average, the yellow line, about this level, and just buy it for a longer swing trade. Looks well, it's not a double bottom before it actually reaches this level. But if it reaches the level and it gets above on a strong volume, we want to see volume here, then I know that, oh, okay, we are having a double bottom breakout and I want to get in. That would be my trade. And of course, 270 to 80 would be first target. And if it goes well, I would stay longer because look, the stock is really, really beat up. And it's been down after this double top, double bottom, right? It was a 1, but it sadly didn't make it through the 200. That would be my target first, and if I see we're losing momentum, I would get out. If I see we're making it about the 200 at that point, which is going to be most likely lower, I would stay in. Always think about it. If it's an investment, you don't care about those technicals. Of course, you want to allocate your money based on technicals, but if it's a shorter term or position, you want to pay attention to those. CrowdStrike for next week looks nice. It's bouncing off of this 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and we see a little higher low. Of course, earnings are far from here. CrowdStrike doesn't look bad for a little run around this 409 entry, 410. If not, then about a 10 and right up to 450 for the resistance. We'll see what happens. Looks pretty nice. I would want to see a little bit more volume, quite frankly. IoT. Very nice. Already charted this one. It has a beautiful breakout. It also lasted, but again, there's a lot of supply of back holders. I would list one to go about a 200. It's probably going to go and then fail and then go again. You can take it on the first time or the second time. First time, give it wider stop. Second time, get it tighter stop, breakout, and run. So this would be my entry on the second try, because I'm telling you, it's going to most likely get above, and you see how it's almost in the overbought territory, and I'm gonna wait for a little chop there and then go higher. Sophie looks great too. Wow, what a nice clean trend on this name. Super nice. It's a favorite on Phoenix. You can play the breakout here. Also similar pattern as we could see. What was the name I was showing you before? The AOI. It's pretty, you know. This one also for next week. Interesting name. Would be playing about 26 with a stop at 23, and then my targets, who knows. Let's see. I'm doing it all for you here. Oh, look, it's also, yeah, the target would be at least 20 at 30, if not more. Wonderful. Yeah, so the last one is Zone. I already mentioned it in our Discord today. Also looking pretty good. These are all small caps and volatile names, my friends. They're very excited about the interest rates to go lower. If we lower the rates, we might have a little chop or sell the news there for a couple of days, and then we probably go higher, which is also going to be on the 17th of September, and then the Jewish holiday, right, Monday after, Wednesday and then Monday. Yeah, this one looks wonderful. Truly, SOUN. It's AI for sound operated AI for cars and IoT. Here, that will be my play on this one. We'll see Monday pre-market, and we'll see what's happening in the markets. That's it, friends. It was a little bit long, but I hope you enjoyed it. It gives you a little bit clear mind what to trade next week. And I will see you soon. Bye.